By the goddess, Nevi, I'd almost lost all hope.
Everything's fine, Beth. I'm here. This here's a new friend. He rounded up those of us who survived the fall and led us up to the surface. Without him, we'd never have made it out. Let me introduce you to my wife, Arabeth Tirabade, head of the Eagle Watch.
Until the army arrives, I'm the temporary warden of Canavras. And you're just in time. As you can see, we're in the middle of a battle. And thank you for getting Anevia out of there. The Grey Garrison. Until recently, it served as barracks for the Crusaders, but it's now been taken over by cultists. When the demons attacked the city, their main target was the Wardstone. I trust I don't have to explain to you what the Wardstone is and how important it is to the Crusaders. We must retake it at any cost, or the fall of Canabras will be the beginning of the end of the Crusades, and with them, the rest of the world.
Wardstones contain a powerful artifacts keeping the world wounds expansion at bay. The first and greatest in the chain was erected in the city of Canabras by the hand of the inheritor himself, a golden winged angel set by the goddess Iomade. We read that one before, didn't we? Crusaders. Mendavian Crusaders. In 4433, Eredin defeated a cult dedicated to the demon lord Descari, making the north of Avestan safe from demonic influence. However, this protection ended with Eredin's death in 4606. The same year, the world was opened by the witch Erelu Volish, working in conjunction with her demonic patron, Descari. Demons poured out and overran the barbarian nation of Secordus. The world wound was not large at first, but soon it abruptly expanded. As it kept growing, it came to be seen as a threat to the entire world. The remaining clerics of Eredin and the clerics of his follower, Iomade, took it upon themselves to defeat the demons and seal the world. Answering their call, thousands of pilgrims crusaders flooded up the river road and into Mendel, the nearest neighboring kingdoms of former Secordus. Thus, the Mendavian Crusades were born. Okay.
I see that you had a difficult journey to the surface. You need to rest. But there's a lot riding on this battle. I have no right to command you, but I'm asking you to help us.
Okay. Tell me about the Wardstone. Why is it so important?
The Wardstones are a gift of Iomade. Created personally by her herald, a mighty angel, and a general of the celestial armies. The Wardstones keep the world wound from expanding. They stand along the border of the territory controlled by the demons, creating a barrier to keep them inside. The Canabras obelisk was the first to be placed. It is the key to the whole barrier. We cannot leave it in the hands of those monsters from the abyss.
How did the Wardstone end up in the Grey Garrison?
The demons have long laid siege to Canabras, but this time, their lord Descari appeared in the flesh. He ripped the Wardstone from the ground and hurled it halfway across the city to here. I thought the stone was destroyed, but it seems all is not lost. Yet. Descari has gone, but the Wardstone is surrounded by a horde of those creatures. What are they going to do to it? Nothing good, that's for certain.
But how did he do that? He's a demon! The Wardstone should have burned his filthy hide!
It should have. But what happened, happened. We don't know why.
I have important information about the location of a cultist den.
Very good. Report to me in full when we get back to the Defender's Heart. It's our temporary headquarters. Right now, the most dangerous cultists are here. The ones occupying the Grey Garrison.
We met some mongrels who live beneath Canabras. This is land.
Most people in Canabras think that the children of the First Crusaders are simply a legend. Other people say that the day you emerge on the surface heralds the start of the end of the world. I'm not superstitious, but the situation is apocalyptic, all right. Having a living legend on our side can't hurt.
What is land going to say?
Come on, living legend? A walking folktale, maybe? I just need to make sure I don't turn into a running joke.
What a way to inspire, man. What a way to inspire. What's the situation in the city?
The city's gone. Most of the defenders, including the Dragon Terendelev, fell in the first few hours. The civilians either fled or died in the chaos. The place is overrun with cultists and demons.
Okay.
Don't talk like that. Canabras hasn't fallen. Not while it still has defenders like you and me.
Sweet words don't change the grim truth.
Okay, so we got an optimistic and a pessimistic in the group.
No, she's right. Thank you, Knight. Until we no longer have the strength to hold a weapon, until Iomedae abandons us, we will fight for Canabras.
Okay, let's not waste any time. To battle.
That's the spirit. You, take Anavia to the rear. The rest of you with me.
Oh, that stupid locust. I'm not prepared for this. Oh.
You ain't gonna survive, dude. You owe me like, what was it, 1,000 gold? You hold back.
Lord Horgus Worm, forgive me. I did not realize we had civilians among us. My people will escort you somewhere safe. To the extent that anywhere in Canabras can be said to be safe right now.
Okay.
That's right. Fighting spirit is the one thing that we've got plenty of. Actual fighting power, that's not so great. Fighting know-how, even worse. But fighting spirit, at least we're rich in that.
Really know how.
For Iomedae! For the Queen! Kill the beasts!
Erebeth raises a blade, and soldiers inspired by her cry rush into battle with renewed vigor. Okay, let's see what we find here first. All of those. The door won't budge. Looks like it's locked from the other side. Okay.
I'm gone.
Yeah, I'm not completing mission in Gregors. Okay.
We are the light. They are the darkness.
What's that?
Don't hold back!
Save the last one for me.
Strike!
Sharpshooter, huh? This door. Sealed with magic. Okay, great.
This one was beyond me.
Okay. sweet to get whatever's in there, I'm sure. Hey, I know you, so you're one of these cultists. How's it going, pal? Won't you join? Your lot will all be dead soon, but we'll be alive. I can't. Come on, leave these losers. The crusade is all over. Soon the demons will rule the whole world. Where do you think you're gonna be? You'll be chopped up. He goes nuts. All hell, man. Cowardly traitor. I swear on the sword of the own day, you will something.
This will be quick.
On the sword of Homa Day, you are answerable for your betrayal. Okay. Oh. I was thinking it was just these guys. We got over here too, huh? Should we? That's not what I'm looking for. Man, she can't use hardly any of these, huh? Take major trauma right there. But I don't know if I want to bless right now or not, because I don't get the feel that this is a major battle. The young man was attacked while they were flat-footed. Creature is flat-footed when it doesn't expect it. How did he not expect the attack? Okay, yeah. What are y'all sitting around for?
The spirits demand your blood.
You should have run! This will hurt!
You are today's sacrifice!
The light take you
Come on, guys.
into the fray!
Ah, a test of my abilities.
Go for their heart!
They are all pretty easy. leaving all this stuff. We're not leaving all this wonderful goodness behind. Give me this goody goody. That way it's impossible. Okay, that's why I come back this way. Here. Blocked by someone using
We
my
do it my way.
Okay. Well, I'm going to use the break the door down. Okay. Up to the third floor, I guess. Okay.
What's this? Do we have guests? Just in time. The place is a bit of a mess, and I haven't even poured the blood into the goblets yet. Why don't you... Oh,
Says the face of this demon could be called pretty if it had eyes. Her mouth slowly widens to a smirk grin.
what an unexpected surprise! Staunton, my little sweetheart. Long time no see. I've missed you so much. Have you missed me? Admit it. You missed me terribly.
Who's stopped?
Mirago. You again, you wench!
Okay. The aged dwarf from Erebus troop, silent up to now, spits on the floor. His hardened, craggy face, like storm-weathered stone, twists as if in pain.
Minago, the one who... Be careful. She's one of the deadliest creatures in the whole demon horde. She was once responsible for a massacre in Canabras. She must be back to finish what she started.
He says the half-orc is too well-bred to spit on the floor, but the name sounds like a slur on her tongue. Okay. Staunton, do you know this demon?
Does he know me?
I was talking to him.
Staunton, darling. Tell them all how close we were.
That wench? She's the one who led me astray. She's the reason my life has gone to the abyss. She's the reason why Dresden fell.
Dresden, founded as a city fortress during the hubris of the First Medieval Crusade. Dresden was overtaken by the demonic hordes of the World War. It now stands as a demonic monument to the foolish naivety of those early crusaders. Okay.
Oh my, like butter wouldn't melt. What I remember is how eagerly you would run to our trysts, how you begged to see me again, how you promised you'd do anything I asked. By your own free will, you said this. And now you claim that Dresden fell because of me. No, no, my dear. That was entirely your own doing.
Okay.
I'll beat your lying lips into your filthy throat!
Okay.
Now, Staunton, don't say things like that. Not about these lips, the ones you kissed so sweetly. Staunton, dearest, don't you love me anymore? Remember how good we were together? I was so hoping that we could patch things up.
Okay. So, she was his lust interest, and he gave away secrets or something that helped.
I'll kill you!
That helped turn that fortress to their side, or help it fall. And he's blaming her. Dude, you gotta realize what you had to do in the whole thing too. What the? What did she do? Didn't say what she did. It's abracadoo, abracandilla, dill. I don't give us a little synopsis on it, but there's
I'll cut you wide open.
Endure this!
I had something else to divine zap.
The spirits demand your blood.
Oh, who just killed her? Just. That was a quick kill. Land, my man. Wait. How's he getting blessed? Oh, he's fought cleric. He's doing blessed. Okay.
You are
Take care of
today's
him.
sacrifice.
What are y'all doing?
Don't hold back!
You have met the enemy Abracandulu, talking about damage reduction, who possesses the damage reduction ability. That's damage or physical energy weapon attacks, most frequently deal physical. Okay, yeah, we already know about. I know about that. Okay. Oh, you need
You
a...
can trust me.
My skills are absolute.
Right, there we go. But we can't talk to her. We just gotta keep marching on. Alright, let's do another quick save. Wait.
The monk?
Oh, shoot. No. There was a law of religion. I thought there was something over there, but... Let's go back to that law of religion first. So we'll read all this when we come back.
So you have a choice.
Yet another.
You're about to rush ahead. Okay, see, that was... Here we go.
Ah, not this time.
What? I just did... Okay, no. You're gonna read this. Is DC 12.
Ah, not this time.
You just need a 9. I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of everything, it probably doesn't really matter, does it?
Ah, not this time.
One last time.
I hope you appreciate this.
Okay. That's all it is. It's just a symbol
The monk?
for him. As soon as you step into the chamber, your vision seems to darken and your knees buckle. You struggle to keep your balance. The air in here is laden with the power coming from the stone. Suddenly, your head is filled with voices screaming, whispering, crackling, threatening, voices pleading for him, shrieking curses and taunts. You blink and the illusion passes.
Congratulations. You made it all the way here. This is it. Your precious ward stone. Well, what are you planning to do now, I could kill you where you stand, but wouldn't it be nice if you could die in battle like heroes? No. I want you to die in despair, scrabbling around like rats in the blighted ruins of your city, blind and broken, your flesh scabbed and seeping, and every moment knowing precisely what was done to you.
Feed off of misery?
Sounds terrifying. Except that's how we've been living for generations.
Land.
There isn't a soul that can resist the temptations of the abyss. Even a stone can be turned. I'm not joking. Your precious ward stone, weakened from the injury inflicted by Discari, has almost succumbed to my charms. Soon the whole barrier around the world wound, the gift of your useless goddess, will be a weapon of the abyss. Just a little more and boom. Every city with one of these eyesores stuck in the middle of it, from Canabras to Nerosian, will turn into smoking craters, and all the mortals into red sludge beneath our hooves.
Disgusting.
So you have a choice. Especially you, my pet. Kiss me on my dainty hoof. Pledge your loyalty to Baphomet. And when the world falls, its ruins shall be yours.
Who are you?
You've already forgotten me. You mortals have awfully short memories.
No, I
Even
want to know
shorter
who
than
are
your
you
little
supposed to be.
lives. Staunton, sweetums. Don't you want to introduce me to your friends properly? No? Well, I'd better do it myself. I am Minago, Lily II and faithful servant of Baphomet, and leader of his armies. The city is mine now. I'm just starting to settle in, get things just how I like them. But once I'm finished, I promise you, the results will be simply to die for.
And it was such a charming little place until you sullied it with your presence. It had such lovely boulevards, quiet and shaded. You took those away from me, and I shan't forgive you for that.
They've done much worse things than spoil the promenades. All the people they've killed.
Yes, of course, you're right. I grieve for the common folk as well.
Okay, so she thinks about how everything affects her first and foremost. Everybody else is an afterthought. Okay. Feel righteous fury swell within you. How dare this demon besmirch the ground of this world with her hugs. A world created by the gods and cultivated by mortals. These cultists, how dare they betray all that is sacred in this world and join the forces of the foulest evil. Can they repent and redeem themselves, or have they followed the path of evil past the point of no return? The wardstone seems to sense your thoughts. The chamber grows slightly brighter. What are you doing to the stone?
Well, quite what am I doing to it? Probably the same thing I did to many of your comrades. Sweetly and tenderly persuading it to abandon the mortals and join our side.
Prepare to fight to the death, demon! We won't let that happen.
Okay, you feel a sudden rush of wild rage, and with it comes a feeling of monstrous, unbridled destructive power. It is like the power you felt in the shield waves when you were confronting some Savamelica. But now, it feels more fully fledged, more conscious. We're gonna do a good playthrough, so I don't know if this is gonna do anything. I mean, I think we got enough information now, so let's go with the good, the angelic method path. Your victory celebrations are a little premature, demon, as you feel the light of heaven. Echoing the holy flame erupting from your hand, the light also gets brighter and brighter until it floods the chamber. You hear the voices again, stronger now. They repeat your words like a choir of angels.
Hey, no eyes! Didn't you tell us that heaven had turned its back on us and no one would come to our aid?
That was man standing amongst the cultists turns on and says that okay. And don't listen to her. The fiend wants us to lose our hope. She won't succeed.
I'm done with this shit! I only followed this hoofed menace because I thought the Crusaders had had it, and there was no other way to protect my family. But now I see that there is hope. I won't bow before these heinous idols ever again. If they kill me, at least I'll die a decent death.
Okay, so we had one turn to leave our side and go to the other side in the battle before, but now in this battle we got somebody turn the sides and coming.
Yes! Return to our side, friends! Have courage! We will welcome you back, and heaven never abandoned you, no matter what this deceiver told you.
Turncoat, I'll cut out your heart.
Okay, so not all of them. Maybe just that one. Just come to our side.
We'll see how tough you really are. We let you frighten us once, but it won't happen again.
Okay, that's 2.
This will be quick.
What does she got? 32 DC, 20 touch AC. Okay, that still gonna have to put Camilla on her. That cantrip. Got 7 trying to be blessed though.
I'll cut you wide open.
Don't hold back.
She could give us the blast. What the hell? That hurt.
This was unexpected.
A mere flesh wound.
That's it. I'm tired of playing around now. You want to know what will happen when I'm done with the Ward Stone? Here's a little demonstration.
The demoness whispers a spell and the wave of darkness sweeps to the chambers of the pain, splints and pain, but it's nothing compared to what you feel. Thousands of voices once again burst into your mind, drowning, reaping their moans, screams, and sobs. Pain rocks through your skull. Evil spells won't stop the righteous arm.
Iomade is with us!
Yes, yes. Keep telling yourself that.
Voices made me turn on. Bearable wall of spirit with vision first started. I thought for sure we were about to die out in that battle.
Praise Iomade, you woke up. Healing your wounds was easy, but you were unconscious for so long I was starting to worry we'd lost you.
Yeah, this isn't where we were. What happened?
We couldn't stand up to the demoness. Her spells were too strong. It's all right. We'll handle it somehow. You blacked out, but Staunton and I managed to get you here to the Defender's Heart. It used to be a tavern, but now it's our headquarters. We're gathering our forces here, and we're preparing to strike back.
What is the situation in the city?
Bad, but not hopeless. We're constantly getting news, and new sources of resistance keep springing up in the districts where everyone seemed to be dead. The survivors are gathering here. You should see them. Their faces, their eyes burning with determination. The city is destroyed, but our resistance is not broken. We will keep fighting.
Okay. I found a cultist dispatch in the dungeons. It seems they are holed up in the Tower of Estrad.
Demons have been filling Canabras with their spies and infiltrators for a long time. Unfortunately, I don't have enough people to attack the place right now. At least not blindly. I'd be grateful if you snuck in there and scouted out the situation. But just scouting. Don't be a hero.
What do you plan to do next?
You heard what the demon said. They're going to desecrate the Wardstone and blow up the whole barrier around the World Wound. That would be an even worse disaster than the World Wound's expansion before the Second Crusade. Not only Canabras, but every city with a Wardstone will be destroyed, including the capital. We can't allow that no matter what. We will retake it, even destroy it if we must. Iomede's gift must not become a weapon of the Abyss.
How many cities have this? Tell me about the Wardstone. Why is it so important?
The Wardstones are a gift of Iomede. Created personally by her herald, a mighty angel, and a general of the celestial armies. The Wardstones keep the World Wound from expanding. They stand along the border of the territory controlled by the demons, creating a barrier to keep them inside. The Canabras obelisk was the first to be placed. It is the key to the whole barrier. We cannot leave it in the hands of those monsters from the Abyss.
Can I help you in any way?
First of all, we need to decide what to do with the stone once we get it. What I'm about to say is classified. A traveler came to the city recently. A blind elf calling himself the Storyteller. He insisted he be allowed to examine the Wardstone, and he raised the alarm when his study was finished. Even before the demon attack, he had found some damage or flaw in the stone. Prelate Hulrune dismissed his words as nonsense, borderline blasphemy. But between you and me, the prelate's opinion isn't worth much. I think the Storyteller knew what he was talking about. We could use his advice right now, if only we knew where he was. I remember the Storyteller spent a lot of time talking to Staunton, a dwarf from my unit. You saw him during the demon attack. The elf asked him about the history of the Crusades. Maybe the Storyteller told Staunton something about where we could find him if anything happened. There's another problem. After the attack, the demons began to gather their forces at the Grey Garrison. It'll be even harder to take them with a head-on assault. But I once heard soldiers talking about a secret entrance to the garrison. Trouble is, I have no idea where to look for it. While you explore the city, please keep your eyes open, in case you find something we can use.
She smiles at us, encouraging.
And one last thing. The Eagle Watch has lost a lot of soldiers recently. Some were killed, but others simply haven't been seen since the attack. In the chaos that is now Canabras, it's next to impossible to confirm anything for sure. One of the missing fighters is Janna Aldori, a new recruit in the Watch. She got along well with Sela, and she often went drinking with her. I honestly thought Sela and Janna had died together. But now Sela's returned with you, and there's no sign of Janna. If you learn anything of her whereabouts when you're out in the city, please report back.
Okay. Everything is clear.
May the goddess help you. We're still fighting, which means that Canabras still hasn't fallen. If you come across any groups in the city that can fight, send them here to the Defender's Heart. We'll need every fighter we can muster for the final assault. Yes, one more thing. If you're in the area, check out this address. It's our house. Mine and Inevia's. Well, it was our house. If the building is still standing, open the hidden compartment in the kitchen. It's filled with supplies for a rainy day. You can take whatever you find. You have more need of it.
Terabade residence has been okay. Okay. Personal chest. A lot of people to talk to now. Hey, wait, mind if I bend your ear about something? Leave us outside your door leaning casually against the shelf. So here's the first and most important thing. Beth gave you a crucial mission, I get that. And I know you get the job done. I saw you in action. But here's the rub. By sending you out on an errand, we're weakening our defense here. If they come at us while you're gone, I don't know if we'll be able to fight them all. You want me to stay here and guard the tavern? You? What? No. Your task is far too important. You can't just hole up here all cozy like waiting for the demons to knock on the door. You need to take the fight to them. But if those freaks try to make a move on this place, Beth will send a runner to get you. If that happens, you leg it back here, alright? Because if you don't, you'll be coming back to an ash pile. Got it? Alright, when do you think the demons will attack next? Your guess is as good as mine. It might not be here. They could attack the whole damn city. Those vermin know they've lost the upper hand and that we're going to push back hard. If things kick off here, you should know after the attack, some things could be changed beyond recognition. So if you got any business that needs taken care of, you better do it soon. Everything seems clear so far. What else do you wish to discuss? So the rift that damn beetle left with his scythe, yeah, well, it cut the city in two, and it's kind of difficult to get across. My scouts tell me there's a halfway decent place to set up a crossing in Market Square. Not that any of them tried it to make sure, but if you've got a mind to go across, and I think you're going to have to eventually, you might want to give the square a once over. Okay, thank you for the warning. See you later. Later, watch yourself out there. Okay. What if Canavis isn't the only city around? What if this is how it all ends? Or the army's on its way here from nearest Sawan? Okay, we talk to Stalk real quick. Dwarf resembles an abandoned citadel, one whose high crumbling walls are still holding fast, but whose empty lightless windows make it clear that all inside is dead. Oh, it's you. Good work back there in the Grey Garrison. Name's Staunton Vaughn. If you've heard rumors about me, his face, which looks like it's never known anything as carefree as a smile grimaces. Just so you know, everything people say about me is true. What do people say about you? They say I'm a traitor, as bad as Errol Volish, that I'm a disgrace even among the ranks of the condemned, that Queen Galfrey should never have spared me, that I belong on the gallows. Foolish is who? Few names arouse as much rage among crusaders as that of Errol Volish, the Sakarian witch who initiated the opening of the world wound and later its expansion. Almost nothing is known about her life before the atrocity except that Volish was condemned for using arcane magic, which was persecuted in Secordus and imprisoned in the Tower of Threshold near the city of Inns. This is where Errol Polish conducted the ritual that paved the way for the demonic invasion and left her land to be tormented by the demon lord Descari. By some mysterious means, the witch transformed herself, changing from an ordinary human to a half-demon. Over the following century, Crusaders encountered Irina Polish over the results of her experiments in futile, but they learned nothing more of Descari's henchwoman. She holds a high position in the ranks of the Army of the Abyss, bears the title of Architect of the World. Okay? The Condemned is a military unit made up of petty criminals conscripted as disposable soldiers of frontline slaughter in the Medieval Crusade. Okay? Queen Galfrey is the absolute monarch of the Crusader state Mendel and leader of the Medevian Crusades. While today the name of the Crusader Queen is known throughout the Inner Seas region, it's easy to forget that Galfrey did not start her rule of Mendel as a paladin of Iomedae, but rather of Eridan. When the world wound opened and forever changed Mendel, Galfrey was still an untested young ruler who was forced to deal with the death of her god while simultaneously rallying her nation against the Abyssal threat to the west. She rose to the challenge, however, and her leadership was instrumental over the next several years, not only in protecting Mendel from demonic invasions, but also in holding the border against the world. When the Church of Iomedae organized the First Crusade, it joined forces with Mendel to push back the demon armies. During their battles, Galfrey time and time again distinguished herself with a keen grasp of tactics and skill at leadership. But this inspiration went both ways. In the Church of Iomedae, Galfrey found something to replace her lost faith. By the time the First Crusade ended with the apparent defeat of the demon armies, Galfrey had converted and became a worshipper of Iomedae, and had completely retrained herself as one of the inheritors' most devout paladins. Eager to retain such a valuable leader at the head of the Crusades, the Church of Iomedae twice purchased and presented to the Queen the rare and expensive Sun Orchard elixir, which extends mortal life beyond its usual span. Thanks to this boon, the Queen has lived and led the Crusades for more than a century. Okay? Why do they hate you so much? You really don't know? Staunton gives you a long mortar look than size. I'm the reason why the Crusade forces are holed up in the fortresses on the edge of the world. Instead of bringing the fight to the demons, we used to have a foothold in the room, the mighty, unassailable city of Dresden. We used to have it until it fell, and all because of my stupidity. I gave the enemy our main citadel. I was tired. They wanted to execute me, and rightly so, but the Queen intervened. She said that I should live and fight in order to undo what I had done. So that's how I live, decade after decade, fighting in the condemned. Dross shrugs. As you can see, I have fixed nothing, and I have earned no one's forgiveness. Are you going to spit in my face too? It wouldn't surprise me. There is honor in what if he's still fighting, though he doesn't. I don't like it, but we do kind of want him to. Yeah, we'll go with that. There is honor in what he's doing. It's still good though. I mean, he's trying to make amends. You might be right. But you know, even stone and iron get worn down over time. I know what it means to live a regimented life, but I cannot rely on my discipline alone forever. I pray to Turek, though he does not listen, that my body breaks before my conscience does. Turek, also known as Father of Creation, is a stoic and serious dwarven god of the forge, protection, and strategy, who values honor, planning, and well-made steel. He is often distant deity lending magical power to his clerics, but leaving his followers to make their own way through life, knowing that this will make them strong and determined. A whole city fell because of you? How is that possible? What do you mean, how? The knight glares at you from beneath his furrowed brows. If you don't trust the world of a condemned, go ask somebody else. Like my little brother Jordan. And if you still don't believe it, what's it to me? But if you're about to ask me to recount the story of my disgrace for the 1,000th time, don't. Okay. So how many years to be condemned? Surely you have paid your penance by now. That's not up to me to decide. My life is in the Queen's hand. He falls silent for a moment, and then in a trembling voice he adds, the condemned isn't the worst part. All these years I have prayed to Turek for forgiveness. Countless times I've gone to his priest. Countless times I've knelt before his altar. If only the Father of dwarven kind would answer my prayers just once. Not to restore what I've lost, but just to tell me that I'm still one of his children. But it seems he doesn't give a damn about me. What can I expect from mere mortals when my own God doesn't think I deserve redemption? He sounded like what's his name off of Kingmaker. You really don't have any friends? I couldn't have survived this long if I was completely alone. Jordan, my little brother, he keeps me going. He's never abandoned me. Everyone else shies away from me like they might catch what I've got. Even fighters in the condemned console themselves by thinking, I've got stripped of my rank, but at least I'm not stalked. Commander Tierbade seems to be the only person in the whole army who remembers that I'm a soldier and not a drudge. She has no qualms about taking me into battle. She's had some mud flung at her in the past, or so I hear. That's why she tries to keep an open mind about people. It's no surprise that she's the only one to hold on to her sense of reason in this farce. Okay. Well, I came to talk about the storyteller. I need to talk to the elf who calls himself the storyteller. Do you know where I can find him? The storyteller, Started to stroke his beard and thought, strange old fella, that one. He used to sit with me for hours, asking about all sorts of things. He never offered judgment or comfort. He just listened. At first I wanted him and his questions as far away from me as possible, but later I realized that talking to him did ease my burden a little. I hope he is alive and well. He's completely blind and feeble too, so if he's alone in the city, well, you probably know what that means. I do know one place that he might be. Look for him in the Black Wing. It's a library here. I'll show you where it is on the map. I don't know what use a library is to a blind elf, but he loved the place. He would sit there day and night. Okay, I have to go. Go on, Dan. Maybe we'll see each other again. Okay. Talk to those two. Let's go around the bar real quick. The fight. Canary still has a fight in it. We'll make those demons rule the day they came. Oh, Camilla. Camilla looks you over pensively, toying with the snake-shaped bone omelet that dangles from her pale neck. Noticing your glance, she flashes you a cold, barely dead smile. Greetings. It seems for a moment that she wants to say something else, but the pause grows too long, and she slips back into cautious silence. Tell me about yourself, please. You want to know more about me than you already do? Why? Camilla arches a dainty brow. I talk to the spirits of this tormented land, and they guide me in battle. I'll help you fight the demons, and I swear that you can rely on me in this matter. Isn't that sufficient? Huh. Where did you learn to wield a rapier so well? I had good teachers, although they don't get all the credit. I am a most diligent student. Camilla licks her parched lips. The amulet is quite unusual. Where did you get it? Oh, my little trinket. It's so nice of you to notice, but I assure you, this amulet is nothing but a bauble. Can a lady not be drawn to beautiful, useless things? Is that a hint to me? You're much more relaxed during combat. Your battle cries are uninhibited. She blushes slightly and lowers her eyes. So you've noticed. To be honest, I find it embarrassing. You see, being a shaman means having spirits of battle as my ever-present companions. In the heat of combat, they become rather vocal. Anyway, as much as I enjoy our delightful conversation, the spirits are calling me, and I must respond. Please excuse me. What? Hey, we not finished talking. Your speech tells me you are of noble birth. Camilla laughs, her practiced musical laugh, as she watches you from under lowered lashes. You are most insightful. A fine quality to have. Camilla's laughter ends, and unspoken words hang in the silence. We're flirting a little. Forgive me if my questions disturb you. I couldn't resist such a noble and beautiful lady. I will stop bothering you immediately if talking to me upsets you. Not at all. Our conversation is an exquisite delight. Camilla affords you a brief friendly smile, appreciation of your manners. I have to go. We'll talk later. I won't keep you. Camilla's face freezes and quickly dies away. Okay, Horger's Squirm. 1,000 gold coins for you, just as promised. You helped me get back to the surface, and I duly paid you for escorting. Horger's Squirm always keeps his word. Now, speaking of our future cooperation. Oh, I've been out for a few days. Like, how did he get the money if we just got back? I've been out of commission for a few days, so he had a chance to get his money. Okay. Angus looks at you with unvarnished disapproval. His arms folded across his chest, his foot tapping impatiently. I have a job that will be perfect for someone like you. Naturally, I'll pay generously for your services. What do you mean, a job for someone like me? For an adventurer ready to sell their soul for booze and then lie down drunk in the gutter? Or do you think you're somehow different? A traveling knight, perhaps? Noble of heart, but without a coin to your name? He sizes you up critically, then sighs and shrugs. You seem a reliable enough ally to me, and you did get me out of those Mongol caves, so why should I care what you do with my money once you got it? We succeeded a perception check. What do we get? Cool, that's 17. 26 total. Cool. Hunger seems like one of those people who think the entire world owes him something. However, he had notes of hysteria beneath his smug arrogance. It's as though he's really quite nervous about taking great pains to conceal it. Noble birth doesn't give you the right to behave badly. I would ask that you refrain from such statements in the future. Hover puts his hands on his hips. Oh really? How impotent. No one dares tell Hugos for him how to address the rabble. So what does this job involve? You should be my bodyguard, you see? I have good reason to return to my mansion here in Canabras. I still have, well, it doesn't matter. It's none of your business. My mansion is a breathtaking building with a large garden in the wealthy part of the city. Even before the demons attacked, every thief and fraudster in the city had tried to get inside, one way or another. I shudder to imagine the state it's in now. I have little hope that my guards were able to hold the mansion during the attack, and I expect that the servants fled when they saw the demons. Only Abadar knows what's happened there since. Yeah, okay. Therefore, I would ask that you meet me at my mansion and guard me there until I complete my business. Okay. I already asked the local paladins for help, but they have no desire to set foot outside this tavern. Damn cowards and traitors. That's what they are. Also, please do take Camilla with you. I trust the girl more than the rest of your gang. She is of noble birth after all. What kind of reward are we talking about? 1,000 gold coins. We need to get a 16 to have to do that. Yeah, what do we get? Yeah, right. For that kind of money, I could hire Queen Gal for yourself to guard. 1,000 is for final offer. Okay, deal. Marvelous, most excellent. Smoothing a few of the tense lines, I'll proceed to my mansion at once and wait for you there. Meanwhile, you needn't worry. I know the city like the back of my head, but do hurry, unless you want me to lower your reward. Okay. Okay. Grimmal Hawks. Got going on. A strange figure towers over the bar. A huge and ungainly man with skin so milky white that his blue veins are visible even from a distance. His bald head is equal parts lumpy and pitted, and blood-filled eyes stare impassively out at you from beneath his pale brows. The glass in the albino's large, clumsy hands look dangerously delicate, as if one twitch of those callous fingers would be enough to crush it. A gold medallion engraved in with a tankard gleam around his neck. What'll it be? Yeah, let's go with this low religion first. Low religion check pass. The medallion you wear, that's a sacred symbol, isn't it? Are you a cleric of Caroline? I'm a tavern keeper, best in the city, the best there's ever been, and I pray to the best God there is. Who are you? Jamil Hawks, vampire. So they just... Okay. Just evidently slowly takes his measure, your measure with his red eyes and found. The gentle side says, okay. Are you really a vampire? Gives you a long look of approach, and then grudgingly answers, no. Okay, for a second I thought he was. How did you end up in the Crusader city? How did anyone end up here? How did you, or them? The huge hand, the tavern keeper, gestures at the ragtag group assembled in the room. The world is big, but still there isn't a place for everyone. People who no longer have a life anywhere else, they end up here. Any news in the city? There are demons everywhere, and you showed up. Are there any places in the city worth visiting? If you mean places that normal people usually stay well away from, then there are plenty, like the Pataxian Mine Cellar. Jim pauses for effect, like the name of the place alone should make you quiver in fear. Okay. It once belonged to a Pataxian trading house. Then King Iraveti came to power in Patax, and property started changing hands. Soon after, the seller's shop assistant was found in a ditch. Not all of him. mind, just his head. Okay? The Marion gangsters had taken possession of the place. They wanted to sell something stronger than wine on the streets, and they ended up on the gallows. Then King Irivetti's number was up, so now the store stands empty and unclaimed. People say that a headless ghost wanders the place at night, moaning ghoulish. Ooh. Okay, so the Bataxian wine cellars now belong now. I see ye not one for talking. Gives you a long, mournful look and says nothing. Okay, let's just show me what you have. Large protection from evil. We only got one of those. That's chaos. We got two, okay. Got a bag of holding. Okay, let's see. What are we looking at? You're good with the rapier. You have the radiance. I think I want to keep this code on in case we run across something else that does need code or has resistance to stuff outside of code iron. I don't know. Can anybody use this dueling sword? There's a lot of cold iron stuff. Okay, let's go into the inventory first. Let's see what we can equip people with. Oh, we got level ups. Do they not show on the main? Oh, I didn't see it. Okay. What was it? Valerie. I think we did in one of my playthroughs. Gave a thug because it added this. Or we can just keep going down the fighter tower shield specialist line. I think we'll do that. Okay. I'm trying to think, should I do mobility? Yeah, we'll skip it like that. Trying to remember what my stats were, but okay. This makes better sense once we got the thug. There's not a dodge. Okay, since we're mainly out front trying to avoid being hit, yeah, let's do heavy armor. Increase our DC just a little bit more. Okay. Continually has prepared the spell tree deflection. It requires the material component first aid kit, which you don't possess. Material components are items necessary for casting the spell. If it requires any such components, they will be listed in the description. Okay. Well, we initially started this to look at equipment for everybody. Crips rated armor. +2 against undead. Sure, I can give that to you. Flow of water. This ring grants his wearer a +1 bonus on save throws against spells with the code descriptor. 1 to DC all save throws against spells for the code. We'll give that to you. You're out. Spell user. Oh, everybody else is auto level ups, right? Pool, fast movement, extra attack. Deadly aim point blank. Okay. Shaman Spirit Hunter. Mobility, trickery. Okay. She got dodge. Why couldn't I get dodge earlier? Those are her spells that's available. Okay. Let's look at that spell book. Take because that's highlighted yellow that's okay, whatever. The protection from alignment. What is going on? Okay, I think it bugged on me. Yeah, it looks like we are bugged. Okay. That is trying to see if I can force it to start responding, but it doesn't look like it. Okay, look like I'm gonna have to close it out. Come back in. I don't recall what's the last place we saved. Alright, let's try to get back in and see where will it pick up at. It's so weird that it just crashed like that. I'm taking it that it must have been based off of me looking at the spells and try to move them around because it seemed like that's the last input that it took. This is how far back we are. Okay. Let's see if this is on. Okay, so currently, set to +7 to hit for the 11. Go to this one. +7 to hit, 7 to 16. Crash goes down to 22. I think that's fine.
I hope you appreciate this.
Alright. Let's go redo this battle. And we go back to the end. I'll try to power through the conversations that we already went through.
Sounds terrible.
There is an assault, so you have a choice. You've already...
And it was such a... Yes.
Well,
prepare...
See, shut your...
Make me. One of the sweetest spoils of war is gloating over your broken and humiliated enemy. You want to deny me that pleasure?
Oh, that's not input to that one that we skipped.
Hey, no eyes! Didn't you? I'm done with this!
Yes!
Turncoat.
We'll see how tough you...
Yet another obstacle.
Into the fray!
This was unexpected.
I'm tired of playing around now. You want to know what...
Iomade is with us!
Yes, yes.
Praise Iomade, you woke up. We couldn't stand up to the demoness. Her spells were... Demons have been filling Canabra. Bad, but not... You heard what the demon said. They're going to... The ward stones are, first of all, Prelate Who. There's another, and one last thing. May the god. Yes, one more.
Go quick save now. Yep, yep. Okay. Changed it up just a little that time because we know basically what to expect in that conversation. Okay. Now, let's try to sell off some of this excess. Oh yeah, we got to talk to him too. All right. Regular old longbow, we take the rest for now. Rest of those I mean for now. Okay. 2964. Go ahead and grab this bag of holding. Make that deal. Now, if we are going to have longbow equipment in case we have to fight from distance, which I don't know, but in case we do, let's equip ourselves with some of the better gear. 4 through 11, put that one. Okay. It's masterwork light. so the masterwork is like a +1 to hit. So we'll keep that masterwork like compared crossbow instead of giving her a heavy crossbow. Okay, you can take this other longbow. I don't know why I have you holding those torches, but okay. Alright. Let's go back and sell the rest of this. Alright. Okay, let's go over here. Forgot the kitchen and its back room. This God that we all didn't perish today, we're alive, but what about tomorrow? Okay. Okay, who's this Jonah? A young man in well-worn traveling clothes and a simple wooden symbol of Aristotle on his chest is efficiently cutting a linen robe into strips to use as bandages. Despite his visible exhaustion, he works with zeal, singing some tune about red braids and bright trees of wheat under his breath. He raises his warm chestnut-colored eyes to you. Are you one of the Crusaders? Thank you for defending those of us whose talents lie off the battlefield. I'm Jernah, servant of Aristotle. Pleased to meet you. What are you doing? I only took my holy orders recently, so my God has only bestowed a little of his power upon me. As yet, I'm sorry to say that the number of wounded fighters in this tavern is far beyond my power to heal. But there's a reason people say have faith in the gods, but look to yourself first. I may not be able to help the wounded with magic, but I can at least cut up bandages. Okay. Are you from around here? No, I was just passing through Canabras. I was sailing down that old man of ours, the great Selene River, to a village by the name of Chili Creek. I happened to land in the city on the eve of the festival, and I'm ashamed to say I decided to stay for a day to enjoy myself. But I ended up staying in the city longer than I'd bargained for. Yeah, I bet. Chili Creek, where's that? It's a small fishing village. It's not even marked on some maps, but people do live there. What they don't have is a priest. They have no one to heal their wounds, no one to offer prayers for a good catch, no one to give their dead a dignified burial. And the world wound is a stone throws away. So I'll be setting sail for Chili Creek to serve my God and my people. Oh, we got to add it to our map now. Once we've held Canabras, I'll be going there. If by the grace of the good gods we all survive this, you should come and visit me sometime. You'll find a village here on the bank of the river. The priest marks Chili Creek on your map. Aren't you a young and inexperienced cleric, afraid to go to the border of the world wound? I won't lie, I am afraid, but what can I do? Those villagers are simple people like you and me. Every day of their short lives is spent doing hard, honest work. That's exactly the kind of life I want. Something simple but meaningful. If I had centuries ahead of me, like elves and some other races do, I might have spared some 50 years or so to travel around the world, the young man says with a smile. Maybe even 100, why not? But I don't have time to spare, so I want to spend my short life in the place where I'm needed most, even if it's dangerous, especially if it's dangerous. I can use the help of a cleric. General makes a helpless gesture. Ears to the nose, I'll be glad to help you, but it's no use. My spells are depleted and I've no training in potions or scrolls. See this robe I'm cutting up for bandages? It's the second to last one. Okay, I have to go. My heirs still watch over you. Okay. What's going on back here? Mix of spices, flour, and mutated fish. Eagle Rush Crusade. Okay, yeah, we see that before. Farm, autumn haze. A tall, fragile looking elf sits in front of you, eyes closed. He is pale as a ghost, his arm wrapped in blood-stained bandages. You spot other bandages on his body under his clothes. But even in such a miserable state, he manages to keep calm. Raising his eyes to meet yours, he says faintly, I am Fawn Autumn Haze, at your service. His pale lips are reddened by blood, but you see no signs of pain or fear in his gray eyes. Do you need help, dude? After giving you a cold, intense look, he shakes his head. Do not trouble yourself on my behalf. A local healer tended to me. Besides, I come from a resilient, hardy people. My body will endure both the wounds and the poison delivered through them. Who are you? My name is Fawn Autumn Hayes. I've come here from Keonan because I am a hunter, and all minions of evil are my quarry. I won't say more than that. If you don't mind, we are strangers and of different races and cultures. I'd rather not tell you more than is necessary. Who wounded you? A sinner and an accomplice to demons. The quarry I'm hunting in this inhospitable place. I'm Youngland. You can trust me. I might be able to help you. With a brief pause, Fawn says, it would be impolite to refuse such a direct and friendly offer. Who is your quarry here in Mendel? I was hunting a fugitive. This desperate by the name of Khaleesi. Khaleesi made it here? It pains me to admit that there are heinous malefactors such as her among my noble kind. I managed to catch up to her in Canaveras, and I wounded her. The demons appeared and the city was engulfed in flames. I was injured in the battles that ensued and couldn't free her soul from its service to the dark masters. He expresses no anger or hatred as he speaks, only compassion and sorrow. Sorry for your misfortunes then, dude. I hope things will turn out differently next time. There's no need for pity. Our ancient kind is blessed with great longevity. We gain a deeper understanding of the world than other races, and we learn our lessons better than anyone. That goes for learning from our mistakes as well. I've survived, which means I will be more prepared when next we meet. I'd like to know more about you. I won't hold anything back. Not who I am, why I made my way here, or who it is that I'm pursuing. Tell me more about yourself. People tend to believe that identity is the sum of a person's actions and events that happen to them. For them, I am one of a long line of warriors of Keonan, who since his youth has dedicated himself to hunting evil and injustice. For them, I am a successful and capable huntsman who has tracked down and slain a great many monsters. But I'm an elf, and for me, My identity has a different meaning. It is shaped by the place where I was born, that I love so deeply. I'm shaped by what I find beautiful and what makes my heart quicken, by the fears that come to me in the dead of night, by the things I find so intolerable that at the sight of them, my very core darkens and feels so poison. Thus, to tell you who I am, I will require many days and much candor, which is more than you and I have at our disposal. Why did you choose to be a hunter of evil? Because I am the son of a noble and proud nation. We are sometimes criticized for our arrogance, but no one dares doubt our honor. When a crime is committed, we cannot turn a blind eye. If we were to abandon our obligations to oppose evil, if we were to surrender this obligation to other races, we will also relinquish our preeminence. Remind me who is the quarry that brought you the men down? No more questions. What's to aid you in your hunt? One covers his eyes really. I thank you, but this is my mission, and I'm used to facing all manner of terrors on my own. I do appreciate your willingness to help. If you happen to meet Khaleesi, take caution. She has turned many innocent souls to the path of evil, and darkness has rewarded her with many gifts. Her appearance alone will tell you that it is warped. The agate skin, the malicious stare of her blood-red eyes, the bestial teeth. She's more monster than elf at this point. Knowledge world. Oh my goodness, we need a perfect 20 for this. Skin is dark, her hair eternally white. Her red eyes can see perfectly in the dark, which, to my dismay, we've come to know from experience. But bright light causes her kind pain. It's an alchemical powder that explodes in a dazzling flash, and she cried out as if I had stabbed her. It's clear that this woman is a faithful servant of darkness. The marks that Khaleesi's masters have left on her appearance say as much. After good fortune. I don't think it's the Khaleesi from Kingmaker, right? Did we talk to Starkey already? No. Talk to Neva again. Neva, in a muted colors, blends almost perfectly into the background. She appears relaxed, but her seemingly unfocused eyes are taking in everything around her, tracking and filtering potential threats. The only tell is the way she drops her fingers on her hip near her weapon's sheath. She shows no sign of her injuries and confidently leans on her previously broken leg. She pretends to have just noticed you, even though she watched you approach from afar. Oh hey, see how they patched me up? Now I can run, jump, or dance a jig if I feel like it. Are there any suspicious places in the city that I should pay attention to? There were a couple spots I wanted to check out, but I didn't have time. If there really is a den of cultists there, it would be good if you could swoop in there and bust some heads. You don't even need a search warrant. And he will shoot you a crooked smile, okay? Silken Thread Atelier has been revealed. First one is the Silken Thread. It's a funny little tailor shop that doesn't take any orders and never buys any fabric, but that always seems oh so busy. There basically was something in there, alright, but so on it ain't. Second one is the alchemy shop, Topaz Solutions, and they traded everything, not just healing potions. Judging by the ingredients they've been buying on the black market, there's something fishy about the alchemical rituals going down in that place. Tell me about yourself. She shrugs for the latest smile. I'd be happy to, but there's nothing to tell. What's so interesting about me? Where are you from? Nowhere. Almost blown in by the wind and found in a cabbage patch. She stopped short. Sorry, that's an old habit of mine. I don't like babbling about my past, but you saved my skin, so I guess I kind of owe it to you not to clown around, right? I'm from Nidell, and I wouldn't wish my homeland on my worst enemy. You've heard of the place, I'm sure? Ruled by monsters that aren't alive nor dead, and the official religion is the cult of Zonkuthorn. I grew in a slum like a weed between the cobblestones. I didn't have a dad, but I had lots of aunts and uncles, my mom's cronies. No prize for guessing the kind of business she was involved in. They gave me a set of lockpicks as soon as I could hold a spoon, and while other kids were picking their noses, I was picking pockets. Deity Zonkuthorn, also known as the Midnight Lord, the Dark Prince, the Prince of Pain, God of darkness, envy, loss, and pain, possesses one of the most twisted and evil minds in the great world. His position as God of pain is well earned, and he has been the root of countless tortures, murders, and worse throughout time. He was once a benevolent demigod named Dorbar, but was corrupted when he traveled to the far dark places between the planes and returned in his current form. His half-sister Shaylin still holds out hope that she can redeem him, though the Lord of Shadows shows no sign of remorse or compassion. When I was 12, the monks of the Silent Shroud came for us. Creepy guys with their mouths sewn shut. They are the guards of Nisraj. Mom gave me to her friends, and we hid in the secret temple of Desna. I never saw my mom again. Okay, yeah, we know this. I lay low in the temple for the next few years, kept my head down, I washed floors, fetched water, listened to sermons. Funny thing, after a while I started thinking Desna's teachings, liking Desna's teaching. But as soon as I was old enough, I was out of there. I left Nadal and got as far away as I could. Proud of ragtag group you've got here. Nobles to street thieves. You got that right, haha. Only the best for you. What do you do if the knights and nobles fail to save the world? The lowlifes are our only hope. How did you meet Irbeth? I was bumming around T-Mall a while back, doing this and that. The Desna temples sometimes gave me odd jobs, you know. Sometimes they needed people with skills like mine. On the surface, it was fine, I guess. After Nadal, the freedom of River Kingdom should have seemed like heaven, my chance to sit back and enjoy life. But I wasn't happy. There just wasn't any joy in my new life. I was all alone. No one cared about me, and I didn't care about anybody either. I struggled to find a reason to drag myself out of bed every morning, trying to stone around my neck and jump into the nearest river started to look pretty appealing. One day I was hired to follow some fellas who the local authorities suspected were Rasmirian spies. I was stupid. I made a rookie mistake and they caught me. It's like my body had already decided to do what my mind had been fighting to finally put me out of my misery. Get someone else to kill me. Since I didn't have the guts to do it myself, they grabbed me. I thought they gut me on the spot, but instead they hog-tied me and dragged me off. Just like an animal going to the slaughter, my only thought was, let's get this over with. They brought me to their stinking cave, threw me on their altar, and I realized who it was. Kuthiates from Nadal. They tracked me down after all those years, but I didn't care anymore. Okay. Wouldn't even have cared if they'd eaten me or whatever. We all gotta go sometime, right? So I was lying there, staring at those knives pointing at me, when fate rolled the dice and I hit the jackpot. Ibra, there she was, storming into the cave. Picture it, I'm laying on an altar with all these knife-wielding maniacs around me, and suddenly Ibra storms in. I thought it was Iomide herself, fierce in a shining armor with her gleaming sword raised. She made quick work of those scumbags, chopped them up just like that. I didn't even have time to blink. She untied me, and then Aniva's face lights up as she chuckles. She looked through the papers they had on the table, and she started swearing like a sailor. So much for Iomide, haha. How did you and Irba end up in Canaveras? After almost becoming a human sacrifice, I knew I never wanted to leave Irba's side. Desmond knows I fell for her instantly, and I fell hard. My mercy was gone when Irba showed me what was in those papers, proof that the coaches had a nest in her home city. Well, I offered to help without a second thought. Neva smiles more. She must have figured I couldn't wait to get my revenge on the coaches, but I didn't give a damn about them. It was her. I'd go anywhere with her, even on a crusade, or into the jaws of a dragon. But I took to life in Canaveras like a duck to water. I used to be an outcast wherever I went, but half of the Crusaders are the same. After all, who'd volunteer to tangle with demons on the edge of the abyss? You gotta be either goody two-shoes with too much honor and free time, or a misfit with no life out in the normal world with normal people. People come here to run away from their debts, their past, from themselves. So I fit right in. What's it like living with Irvin? It's like living. Without her, I wouldn't be. Seriously. Far alone, I'd definitely be gone by now. Sure, sometimes we argue. Can't deny that. Sometimes we bang our fists on the table and yell so loud that the walls shake. But that's all about order business. But at home, well, I'll give you an example. I've kind of always wanted to move out of that broom closet we call a house and into somewhere cozy. It ain't like they take a vow of poverty at the Eagle Watch, but every month, somehow, most of our spare money is spent on Crusader business. Sure, I get mad about it, but we make it happen. It's part of why I love her so much. You know, Irba has that thing that matters most for a purpose in life. She's always got a reason for whatever she's doing. Her whole life is a crusade, and I just drifted around like a leaf in the wind until Desna brought us together. Now she's the meaning of my life, so it really makes no difference if we live in a mansion or under a bush. Thank you for your answers. What are your responsibilities in the Eagle Watch? He smiles a bit. Nothing official. I'm not even a knight, you know. I just hang around. Sure you want to know the details? Catching traitors and spies and coaches is no walk in the park. It's a delicate job. You can't always do it all within the letter law, but if we surprise some suspicious blighter with an official search, everyone will know about it for long, starting with their cronies. Then again, sneaking into people's houses at night ain't exactly legal. Crusaders can't be doing that, but stuff like that, can they? Well, I'm not exactly a knight. She trails off. Yeah, I have to go. Alright, you watch yourself now. Excuse me, Jesus. I got some more people up here to talk to. Looks like. Kiedo. Vasily Rathamus. Stout old man with a fuzzy gray beard mumbles a prayer. He looks as tired as everyone else in the town, but determined. Nation is stamped upon the sacrifice. What can I do for you? Show me. Who are you? Vasily Rathamus, rector of the local temple of Abaddon. The temple is gone though, and if we snooze here for much longer, the city will be lost as well. Who's that boy with you? This one? Kiedo? The shepherd, my apprentice? He's a smart boy, and his faith is strong. He serves Ares still, though, but there's still something he can learn from an old servant of Abaddon. He'll be a great cleric when he gets a little older. What kind of help can I expect from you? First, I sell scrolls. Have a lot of them, something for every emergency. Second, while you're here in the tavern, I can read one for you. Guaranteed no surprises. But you better not go into the city without a cleric. I won't be going there myself. I'm too old, and my pirates are needed here. Okay, let's see what you're selling. Raised dead, 6,000. Good God. Okay. There's some interesting stuff. Alchemist kits. You gotta. Okay. You don't really have time to be going through all your supplies. This off to land. For chat, I've been waiting for you to come and see what strange beasts you've taken into your party. I'd like to know more about you. Let me guess, your first question is, can you wear a hat with your one horn? Am I right? You speak common much better than the rest of your tribe. Fun enough, common isn't all that common underground. But your observation is correct. I used to live on the surface with my parents for a while, and we had a chance to learn a couple of things. The language and the fact that every peasant who sees my scaly mug screams demons and runs away. I don't know if you're interested, but my mom wasn't from an underground tribe. She was a smuggler, kind of used to dungeons of cannabis to secret move and store goods. One time, two gangs couldn't agree on how to share a prime cut. Got into a fight, and the winners threw the losers down a hole, dead and living alike. My dad went to check if the corpses had anything useful on them, and he found a girl from the surface, barely clinging to life. An incredible feeling sparked between them. Or maybe the girl just liked men with scales and a cat nose. That might be it. One way or another, he got her back on her feet, and he later even left his home caves. She left her smuggling behind, and they began an honest life together. That's the delightful story of how Old Land came into this world. Next chapter, however, my family and I never stayed in one place for long. We lived sometimes on the surface, sometimes underground. We couldn't find a place to call home. Living in the caves was hard on my mom, and my dad's appearance raised too many questions in Mendel. Dad woke against the demons after all. In the end, my parents decided to stop making each other miserable and separate. My father and I returned to our tribe. I think the peasant's screaming demon had something to do with it. Or maybe Dad just couldn't stand life without rat tail soup. I wouldn't rule out that possibility. Did you come with me so you could see the surface again? No, that wasn't it. I just don't have much patience for certain types of creatures. Demons, if they want to destroy cannabis, I'll be on the side of the people they're attacking. Lan looks away. Lan, you're my companion, and my companions should trust each other. I'm counting on you to give me an honest answer, not excuses. I guess you're right. I shouldn't have been so evasive. It's just that some things are hard to talk about. My family, for example. My birth, hell take me, turned out to be a great misfortune for my parents. All because I'm relatively healthy. I'm the best thing that can come from a marriage between a cave-dwelling Mongol and anyone from the surface. A healthy child with the right number of hands and feet. No apparent defects, no missing organs, or other problems. They saw hope in me, so risk having more children. They thought it would somehow be alright. Growl edges to Lance's voice. I could have had 4 brothers. The first was born 2 years after me and died 3 years later. He didn't have a nose, nothing even remotely resembling one. He could only breathe through his mouth. Mom and Dad were afraid to take their eyes off him for fear he'd choke and suffocate on something. But in the end, it was his weak heart that killed him. Then there was another pregnancy and birth. I pretended I was sleeping, but snuck out of my bedroom and listened under the door. All those hours, it was very strange, but I never heard the newborn screaming. Mom moaning, yes, the priest praying. Then I dared to open the door a little and looked inside. The priest stood there, very pale. One of them was holding something, a small object that fit in his palm. He asked, "Do you know what this is?" And the other said, "I think it's a head." Please go on. Pauses, exhales, and continues in the study. It turned out that this time Mom was expecting triplets. The first of the babies was born in pieces, and the two others didn't live long enough to draw their first breath. About 3 weeks later, my father took me to the cave. He didn't want to leave. I could see it in his face. But I think my mom and he decided it together. The curse my people have carried since the First Crusade stood between them. Not to mention the 4 dead babies. And old age was rapidly taking its toll on my father. After we returned to the cave, he only lived another 4 years. So if you're asking me why I decided to go up with you to the surface and join the Crusaders, well, the answer is I've always wanted to. I was afraid to leave my tribe, but it always haunted me that I'd die in a world where 4 crusades could do nothing to stop the beast from the abyss, and the number of victims kept growing. I want to change that, or at least try to. And if changing things is too much to ask, then at least get a little revenge. Ones who are behind the world who owe me a great deal. The lives of 4 brothers, all my mother's tears, and father's broken heart. It's a lot. It's so much that killing a couple of demons won't do it for me. I want to do something real, and I'm ready to pay that any price. Call it my personal crusade, and that's what it sounds like. If you like, and gives you a slanted grin. Makes you think that things would be better if I had never been born, but now I think I was born for this, to settle the score. Why didn't you go up and join the Crusader before? I couldn't just abandon my tribe. I'm the best hunter. They'll have it much harder without me. But now that the demons have nearly destroyed Canaveras and the caves almost collapsed on our heads, sitting and waiting it out just wasn't an option anymore. Anyway, I'm more useful up here than I am down there. Plus, the chief let me go, which means my debt to the tribe has been paid. Would you like to find your mother? No. The word flies from Lynn's mouth faster than an arrow. Then after a pause, he continues. I don't want to meet her, not because I feel any resentment. It's just that she's a half-elf. She's barely got her first gray hair, and I'll be a ramshackle old man. She's buried enough children. There's no need to make her witness the death of another one. I hope you understand. I am very sorry, truly. Man smiles this time sadly. Well then, I'm very lucky. I met someone who not only helped me choose the right path, but is happy to listen to my whining. Your parents' love didn't survive hardship, but that doesn't mean the same thing will happen to you. What if you find true love, someone who won't leave you no matter what? I hope you're not. Yeah, I hope it's not me trying to come on to him and break my beloved's heart when I die in her arms 5 years later. That's a fine thing to do to the person you love. Then again, there's a chance I'll inspire some tragic bard to write a tearful ballad. Thanks for sharing, Lan. Listen, mongols have short lifespans, but you don't look like you're getting old or dying. How old are you? Lan chuckles. I'm as old as I look. No surprises there. But remember Saul? He's 10 years older than me. I remember him back when he was a fearless warrior. And day by day, I watched him turn into an old man. Him and my father. It happens very quickly. First you miss a shot because you don't see the target as clear as you used to. think it's because your eyes are tired. You tell yourself it'll get better tomorrow. Then you notice you're having trouble breathing. That climbing is harder than before. Land clenches and unclenches his human fist. Your fingers stop bending. You have to tie your sword to your hand. You can't even put on your greaves without help. When you're washing your face in the stream, sometimes you catch a sight of gray hair, wrinkled old man you don't recognize. This goes on until one day you come across a cave beast and you realize you can't outrun it. And takes a breath. My dad kept diaries, marking all the signs, and I see it too. The last year, I had to help him get out of bed, help him dress, remind him to eat. Sometimes he'd forget my name. I told him that we should have stayed on the surface, and he joked that dodging a goddess was behavior unworthy of a crusader. I meant for Erasmus. Every morning I wake up and check how I feel, but there are no signs yet. Even so, I know I don't have much time. I need to do something useful before I forget why I came here. I want to talk about Window. Are you sure, Lynn? Alright. Tell me about your connection to Window. My connection to Window? I mean, where do I start? There's this other perspective I have. We grew up together, trained together. She was the chief's daughter. She was groomed to be the best all her life, and then I came along. We were rivals, but we dragged each other out of tight spots too. I've always been drawn to grand heroic gestures, sometimes idiotic ones, whereas Windu liked to roam unexplored passages, finding new caves and making maps. She wanted to be a great huntress, the one who would make it through the shield maze, but instead Lan shakes his head. It'd be better if she died. The death of a friend is painful, but watching a friend become a shadow of their former self is unbearable. She doesn't think she's a shadow of her former self. Of course, she thinks she did everything right, because the second she starts to doubt herself, she'll have to face the truth, to admit that she's just a cannibal that demons use as they wish. And frowns, looks almost like a wince. She wants to get stronger and stronger, but for what? I never understood what drives her. Were you just friends, or were you more than that? Wow, you really don't pull any punches, do you? And exhaled slightly. There was a time when I asked myself the same question. Winda knew me better than anyone. She understood me better than anyone. She was my first woman, but we never loved each other. Maybe I could have grown to love her, but it always seemed like she never understood what love was. Maybe she just wasn't capable of those kinds of feelings. Thanks. I found out everything I wanted to know. So, can you wear a hat with your one horn? Sure I can, but certain designs don't suit me too well. I found out everything I wanted to know. Thank you. Tell me about your people. Of course, what would you like to know? What's it like living in your caves? Oh, man gives you a broad smile. His smile is strange, as if it falters, where his human features might meet his animal forms. Imagine that in the entire world there's only a few hundred like me. There's not an inch of fertile ground anywhere, nowhere to grow grain for bread or cotton and linen for cloth. Your neighbors are beasts who want to eat you, or parasites who want to infect you with their larvae and then eat you. And it's not that bad, because you can try to eat most of the things that are trying to eat you. Sometimes at the risk of getting poisoned, sometimes with almost no risk at all. And the worst is, there's not a single living thing anywhere to be found, predator or prey. That's when you eat mushrooms. I say 3 times a day, but they were barely enough for once every 3 days. Sure. But life on the ground has its upsides, pun intended. There's no risk of losing a roof over your head. There's no bad weather. No counting the earthquakes, of course. Not count the earthquakes. Are you really the descendants of the first Crusaders? More like demon spawn, aren't we? Sad but true. Without the demons, there would be no Mongols. It's the magic of the world that affected our ancestors and made their children the way they are. Like most in our tribe, Chief Soul Francis and Dudley, descendant of the underground crusades, once our heroic ancestors left to guard the caves. I don't know if it's true or not. That angel came to our caves for a reason. Maybe he remembered us. Those were evil and dangerous times after the First Crusade. Hundreds of crusaders began having children, and the babies were born with fangs and horns and warts that covered half their face. People didn't like the new look. The Inquisitors sure did. So our ancestors fled persecution and made a home for themselves down there under the ground. They probably intended to find a cure for their children and hoped to return in time. But it never happened. Instead, the World Wound's terrible legacy has passed down from generation to generation. Mongol parents can only guess what their child will look like. Each of us is born with a new mutation. Many mutations are fatal, and substance goes on quietly. Down in the caves, we usually don't congratulate the families for the birth of a child until they turn at least 3. Most don't even get a name before that. There's no point. Sad. It hasn't been that long since the First Crusade. Why do you know so little about your ancestors? Our lives are much shorter than most uplanders. Up here, only a few generations pass, and many still live who remember old Secorders as it stood untouched by the demons. In Galford, for example. But where we live, Mongers start getting old much earlier than humans, much faster, and with more devastating consequences. Few lives past 40, and fewer still live long enough to die of old age. Hunger, disease, and monsters from the deep are more effective killers than time. So for us, the story of the First Crusade is a legend that happened generations ago. There are no living witnesses. We have a tale of the wise and great ancestors who left us to stand guard in the catacomb. But in reality, I suspect they were desperate witches who couldn't figure out how to dispel the demonic plague and who was abandoned by their own kind. Do you have a way to tell day and night? You can't see the sun in your cave. Every Mongol settlement has a big gong which we treat like a road. The gong keeper hits it twice a day to mark the beginning and end. But this cousin doesn't keep time very precisely. Every Mongol child has snuck up to the gong to strike it at the wrong time at least once, just out of pure mischief. Nothing can keep me away from it, not even the fact that I only have one ear, which means it would have doubled the punishment once I was caught. So sometimes the wrong strikes get mixed in with the right ones, and the tribe can find itself jumping up to greet the morning in the middle of the night. Yes. Do Mongol tribes fight each other? There were some skirmishes, and we've been forced to kill many kinfolk before too. And speaks in a steady voice. Fights most often break out over food. We have laws in the caves, written and unwritten rules that we follow. We respect one another's right to live, but hunger, it can push a person over the edge. I've never, you can count on that, stolen someone else's kill, but I can understand those of my kin who tried. To hear your kids begging for food and not be able to feed them is terrifying. He frowned, go silent. You're the only member of the Nethrum tribe to call your people Mongols. Why is that? Because all of Galarian calls us that. I don't see the point of all this hemming and hawing over what we're called. Anyone who finds it offensive or takes issue with it can lead to charge against the name. No one stopped a person. I'm not going to pick a fight over something as unimportant as a name. Thank you, I found out everything I wanted to know. What do you think of life on the surface? It must be very different from life on the ground. Of course, as far as living conditions, the surface is definitely a better place to live. It's easy to get good food and water, not to mention build a house and even grow a few things. In older, well-established settlements, you don't have to deal with anything scarier than rats, or maybe foxes steal a chicken. As for the kind of lives you have, I heard a story about demon worshippers abducting the whole family and sacrificing them one by one while the others watched. But there was some brave Crusader knights nearby, and they killed the villains and saved everyone. I heard another story. A young blacksmith lost his arm in a fire, couldn't work to feed his wife. And baby, they tried their best and lived from hand to mouth, but they were still destitute. In the end, the desperate blacksmith robbed a traveler one night on the road. But there was some brave Crusader knights nearby, and they caught the robber and threw him in prison. Not long after, his wife smothered their baby and hanged herself. I pray the same person can proudly say he's protecting the innocent from demons, and then look the other way while the same innocent starves just because they were born into a poor family. Queen Godfrey prolongs her life with sun orchard elixirs that cost enough to feed the entire city. Back in our caves, everyone is equally poor, and if one person starves, the whole tribe starves. We don't abandon our own in times of trouble. That's the power of the tribe. The laws of the circus are made so that some get everything and others get nothing. I might just be a naive fool from the caves, but I don't understand how it's possible to have so much more and share so much less. I hear you. Anyway, look who I'm talking to. You must know life on the surface much better than I do. I never leave a needy person in trouble. I've been given more than most, which means I'm now more able to help others. Fitting reply, don't take my words as a reproach. I like grumbling as much as cracking jokes. I'll do trying to muster a friendly smile, but it's an expression his face doesn't accommodate very naturally. You said you were prepared to risk your life to do something meaningful. What exactly did you mean? To invent a new salad and have it named after me. Now mocks grimly, then he sighs. Truth be told, I don't know. It would be much easier if all I really wanted was to kill demons. Then a few more demons. Then more demons after that. Good honest rage and no needless brutal. I think I actually envy the warriors who can live like that. But I can't. If life taught me anything, it's that there are no easy choices. Dying a glorious death isn't enough. Some heroes of the crusade did that and also saved entire settlements, erected the war zones. Their actions kept the lands of men that safe for decades. That's what I want. For my dumb, short life to have meant something. You think I have an exaggerated opinion of myself? Some scaly freak crawls out of the caves and wants to take control of the war stones and flaunt Iomede's banner. Any fool can charge at the front lines of the demonic armies and die there. But what good would that do? I want something meaningful, you know, even if I have to pay the highest price, especially if I have to pay it. There are plenty of worthier people who need to survive this war and tell everyone else what nutcases we were. Thank you for your answers. So long. Ooh, that was a lot of talking. I think we're gonna get finished talking to people in this one, and then we'll end this stream. It's already going longer than I planned, but it's a lot of talking, so I want to try to. I don't want to stop this stream in the middle of talking to people and then start the next stream. Just continue to talk to people. So we're gonna try to push through. In daughter. An imposing young Ord is surrounded by a crowd of crusaders who are hanging on to her very word. I hope this example clearly illustrates the difference between Jessica legionnaires from the last war and the crusaders. The perfection of form and spirit they were embedded with during creation turned them into parts of a well-balanced war machine, not a ragtag bunch of individuals, but a united whole. The Jessica Imperium was the first human kingdom to establish itself in the inner sea region after the centuries of darkness and devastation caused by earthquake. Its citizens spoke a nearly forgotten language called Jessica, whose alphabet became the basis of the alphabets of the modern language of Scal, Bersin, and Taldan. At its height, it dominated all of the northwestern Gurund and also parts of southwestern Afghanistan. Raids of desert nomads and attacks by powerful outsiders from 3300 onward, negative 3300 onward, and the lack of a strong eastern trade route led to the slow decline of Jeska. Osirian, then a budgeting kingdom under the control of the powerful pharaoh of forgotten places, pushed westward. It overthrew the already weakened Jeska, and the Imperium was plunged into numerous succession wars around negative 2764, from which it was never again able to recover its former political, military, and economic power. Because of this military and economic defeat, the important cultural, magical, and technological advances of the Jeska Imperium were largely lost and forgotten. Now tell me again, why am I supposed to be impressed by your reckless assaults where everyone is fighting for their ego and for the right to beat their peers to a swift but pointless heroic sacrifice? Some of the Crusaders grumble unhappily, but it's clear that they are captivated by the woman's words. The only exception is a scroggly and deceived halfling monk whose puffy black eye gives him away as a brawler and a troublemaker. He enthusiastically pushes forward and tries to engage, but one of his friends swiftly jabs him in the back with the elbow, making the poor fellow pause and catch his breath. Looks like we got ourselves a student warfare. The woman gives you a suspicious look and raises an eyebrow. Were your words meant to recognize my achievements or to start a fight? Wait. Mendavian Crusades usually do. One of the Crusaders angrily curls his fist tightly and retorts with a burst of passion. If these jests of yours, or whatever, had come for us, we'd have their guts for garters. You think you've never fought a mighty adversary before? The soldier's stern facade cannot fully conceal his relish. He clearly plans to enjoy this confrontation. The Crusaders around him look upon their exotic opponent with a mixture of irritation and piqued interest. The woman chuckles before cutting off her interlocutor. Lucrator. I would love to see you storm a 60-foot-tall walking castle shaped like a gigantic elephant that carries siege fortifications on its back. And I have you know, these fortifications were defended by Jeska priests and craftsmen armed with demon-bound war machines. They use the enemies you cannot defeat as mindless weapons. Woman gives the people around her a triumphant look and adjusts her clothes with pointed nonchalance. Her voice takes on a lecturer's tone. You should not argue with someone who happens to be the most authoritative researcher on the history of warfare 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. Mom looks at you and flashes an amused smile. The lecture's over. Do my esteemed listeners have any questions? Who are you? I'm Erudit, a warrior magus, a scholar of classical warfare from Kura. Peers at you apprehensively and says, I admit that I am mildly offended by the fact that my name is entirely unfamiliar to you, but I'm willing to accept that this is due to Aveston's isolation from the sophisticated culture of the world at large. You've come a long way to be here. I like to think of myself as an inhabitant of Galorian, and I don't narrowly identify with any country in particular. Why did you come? To witness a legendary war, the confrontation between denizens of a plain famous for its love of violence and the crusaders from every continent, united by the common goal of defending their home. An epic struggle of colossal proportions that hasn't been particularly epic so far, truth be told. Monk with the black eye grins and mutters on his breath. Maybe she just can't see it from here. The view would get way more epic if she stops hiding among us and takes a walk outside. The woman smirks contemptuously. She does not deem the monk's words worthy of comment. Looks like you know more about warfare than any of us. Oh, Am I hearing things, or did someone finally acknowledge my competence in the art of warfare? I was being facetious, sarcastic. Perhaps there's a sufficiently open-minded person among the Crusaders after all. I found myself pleasantly surprised. Why don't you join the Crusaders and show them how fighting should be done? No, I'm a historian, an analyst, a theorist. Do you know what these three words have in common? Describe a mortal woman who does not participate in the conflict upon which her thesis will be founded. But then again, I will hardly be able to describe this mess as anything other than a feeble likeness of the last war of Jessica. Marked with the damaged eye grinned slyly, comment. The more dangerous the upcoming scuffle is, the more motivated we are to find clever and pretty words to justify not actually doing the fight. What is this last war that you mentioned? The last war of Jessica, of course, a large-scale conflict that took place 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. It was a war against the Assyrian pharaoh of forgotten plagues, the war that ended the legendary Jessica Imperium, an epic struggle that became the most vibrant page in military history. Alas, all conflicts that followed it were but a pale shadow, including the one I'm witnessing here. Why do you find the last war of Jessica so inspiring? Imagine a legion of columns bedded with extraplanetary spirits marching into battle. Imagine flying cities that swoop out of the clouds like terrifying monstrosities, birds of prey, to drop forces on top of enemy castles. Picture gigantic mechanisms powered by captives, the very angry demons and devils. Imagine standing in the warpath of walking citadels or having to cover your ears to block out the sound of cannons loaded with shrieking elementals. Finally, imagine the ultimate weapon that defeated the Jessica, the deadly night plague. This affliction was an attack dog, a trained epidemic, a tamed pestilence, striking only those who this massive wanted to kill. Imagine all these terrors and understand that no flight or fancy can even come close to the horror of the nightmares that they made real. How do you know so much about Jessica's last war? I can say without false modesty that there is no more authoritative research on Golarion when it comes to the history of the warfare 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. I've dedicated my whole life to a subject. I've personally visited old battlefields and studied the most mysterious and forbidden archives containing chronicles of ancient wars, sometimes risking my life in the process. I saw a fallen sky city of the shrieking god with my own eyes. I ripped out the control crystals from an exterminated glass combat column that guarded the Jessica's laboratory with my own hands. These fingers held the glass flask that the servants of Pharaoh, the forgotten plagues, used to create the first generation of pestilence that devastated the Jessica Empire. How do I know so much? I saw and touched everything I'm telling you about. You're wrong to treat the Crusaders with such disdain. Allow me to explain. A debate. Oh, I'll be happy to prove that the current conflict can't hold the candle to the last war of Jessica. But while the last war of Jessica was waged using a significantly greater number of troops, both sides actively relied on reinforcements from allied planes, and their strategic planning was perfected through no fewer than 7 rounds of intensive designs. None of the above applies to this war. Compared to Jessica, we are but stone club wielding kobolds. I would like to conclude my thesis with a few words of wise counsel from Dogger, an advisor to the Pharaoh of Forgotten Plagues. I doubt you would comprehend the true genius of this statement, but here it is nonetheless. The gaffer sees the ox pays no heed to the gap, but prison feeble takes the boat. Let's do diplomacy, I guess. So we need 8 diplomacy, 8 or higher. Events of the past are shrouded in legend, but the fate of the world is being decided here now. That is what you fail to grasp. Dang it. Did he stand in the middle of the dingy tavern, gracefully accept the truck on the road? One must estimate the importance of current defense world history. Should Canaver's fail, it will become yet another page in the chronicles of the Mormon Conference. Should it endure, it will be fortunate to earn being mentioned at all. Okay. Let's try the knowledge one. Oh, we succeeded finally. What do we say? The principle are always the same. Weapons, causes, and resources may change, but the foundations remain immutable. Endures eye display for sure as she hears the audience, clearly impressed by your argument, murmuring approval. There's logic in your words, I give you that. Yes, the concept of what does not change, but the degree of sophistication and the methods that we use to destroy our foes. The woman stops to realize her words, no matter how strenuous she makes them, no longer have the power to captivate the audience. Offers a pretentious dismissal. As a scholar, I cannot deny that there is a certain truth beneath your skeptical statements. History is a complex discipline, rooted in fact and in evidentiary base that grows ever more meager the farther the described period is from the present moment. Of course, if I were to argue in bad faith, the way Crusaders embellished their tales of slaying a single remark by adding a dozen bailiffs, for example, I could win this debate, but I'm above such things, and therefore I'm forced to admit that your skepticism is not entirely without merit. Have you changed your mind about joining the Crusades? I don't see the point. Crusaders appear to be quite confident in your skills, if nothing else. You presented your arguments to me with extreme confidence. Done it, unbuckles a sword belt and hands you the weapon. This is the worthy blade. It will be for use, not only for the strong, but also for the wise. Law of jest. And this is where I bid you farewell. For the end of the day, I was planning to observe how winged demons use pack tactics to drive their prey like herds of livestock. It is about time I go back to my research. Hannah smiled across her lips when she sees disappointment in the eyes of many crusaders around her. Stay safe. That was a teleportation to the first world, wasn't it? Okay, let's talk to Pink Guy. Okay, we can't talk to Pink Guy. Okay. Tall and athletic man greets you. His hair is prematurely gray and shown close to his head in a military style. He is lean and well-groomed, and a monocle twinkles gold in his eye. The bold set in his jaw and his large but agile frame attest that here's a man who is always ready to be on the move. Greetings, I'm Helon, venture captain of the Pathfinder Society. I'm the superior officer among Pathfinders in this region of Mendef. However, the society is running almost no operations here right now. Beside me, there are almost no Pathfinders here. Actually, I'm only stuck here because of an old feud with the demon worshiper known as the Spinner of Nightmares. I've had to work alone without the support of society, but I've made a lot of acquaintances among the local mercenaries and their fighters. If you need any good fighters for an honest cause, talk to me. Tell me about your conversation with the Spinner of Nightmares. It all began with the task of the Pathfinder Society. I arrived in Neuroswin with my team to investigate the sudden death of a famous crusader, Baron Folarin. We soon focused in on a small hospital for the wealthy, where Folarin was being treated shortly before his death. It turned out that a gang of Baphomet cultists calling themselves the Labyrinth of the Mind. Labyrinth of Mind had gotten a foothold at the hospital. They were obsessed with twisting the minds of their victims and targeted fragile people too weak to resist. The hospital was filled with perfect victims, isolated for weeks from the outside world, completely helpless. When they returned, they were almost normal. But the moment they heard a certain phrase, something dark awoke in their mind, they transformed into servants of Baphomet, ready to live, betray, and kill. Lie, betray, and kill. The Labyrinth of Mind was preparing to infiltrate all the elite circles and them, but Baron Feldhorn stopped them. He was too loyal to his oath and too resistant to their spells. He fought for his freedom until the strain broke his heart. He opened and cleaned the city of Baphomet's pit of vipers. The dam was a cradle of sin and filth. They cast spells on each other, and their loathsome fantasies steeped will from their minds into the world. They dreamt of horrible and forbidden things, and they fought like mad. Burned the place to the ground and slaughtered everyone we could. But the leaders of the cult were able to flee, and they were set upon revenge. They abducted my daughter Laura, who served under my command in the Pathfinder Society. What the? They left me a note full of taught insults, mockery, and sneers. From that note, I learned the name of my enemy, the Spinner of Nightmares. A few months later, I confirmed that she was the leader of the Labyrinth of Mind. The hunt had begun. I would get Laurie back at any cost. He'll grit his teeth with bulldog determination. I want to know more about you. What exactly are you interested in? I'm a common Pathfinder. There are many others like me. Fate and my orders brought me to this land. How did you end up here? Simon in the Pathfinder Society, a dead demon worship. Aimed to spend the night. Abducted my daughter, trying to save her. Abducted my daughter Laurie. For the past 3 years, I've been trying to save her. During this time, I became a specialist in scouting demon territory. I've even planted agents among the cultists. Truth be told, in pursuing the Spinner of Nightmares, I've been acting more on behalf of Queen Calfrey than the Pathfinder Society. It's a long story, but I'll tell you the rest of it sometime. Tell me about your daughter. As a girl, Laurie was just an angel. We lost her mother early on. She was left to follow my example, a drifter with little idea how to talk to a 10-year-old girl. But even with such questionable parenting, Laurie managed to grow into a wonderful girl. Brave, smart, beautiful, and entirely unbearable. She's always argued with me about everything. When Laurie was 18 and told me she was going to be a Pathfinder, all I said was, alright. I knew there was no use to try and talk her out of it. She was a fine Pathfinder. It was clinched with a painful sound effect. I'll never forget the Spin of Nightmares for taking my girl. Tell me about the Pathfinder Society. It's a global organization that unites opportunists and adventurers of all kinds. We explore the world and uncover its secrets, travel and sometimes face down threats. In times of trouble, the latter becomes our primary focus. We're driven by curiosity and desire to make the world a better place. And of course, some seek profit or hunger for glory. But in any case, it's hard work. They might send you anywhere on a mission. Weaklings have little place in this society. It's more for seasoned fighters. There are society lodges in many cities. The closest one is in Neriswan. They're each led by venture captains, lads like me. The Grand Lodge is in Absalom, the center of the world. The Desaramvite sits there. The announce council of the what? I have one question. Okay, let's talk to Sailor. Smiles at you warm. Hey there. During that march through the dungeon, You never got the chance to exchange a proper greeting. It's high time I shake your hand. I'd like to know more about you. Of course, I think I'll answer honestly. Tell me about yourself. Where are you from? I'm a little bit Geb, a little bit from Ketapish, but mostly from the Knights of Eomade. I was accepted and began my training at 14. I belong to their ranks more than I belong to any other place. Okay. You've come to Mendev by a long road, haven't you? Very long. Sailor looks at you cheerfully. The traveler is expected to have amusing stories. Unfortunately, I have only 3 tales of any interest, and I like to save them for our next feast. Otherwise, I won't have anything to show for myself when it's time to start bragging, and that just won't do, especially since I win the night with my... kept going back and forth between the chaotic and lawful. Cause I kind of want, yes, we don't want the grief to weigh us down as we basically continue to handle business that needs to be handled. But we don't want to just treat the lives that was given as just worthless and not even respect the fact that they did it. So since that really isn't a middle ground between us two, we'll go. I'm not bothered by how you talk. What matters is how you fight. Now you talk sense. Well, you can trust in my sword. Is fighting demons all you want, or are you looking for something more? How about covering myself in glory and becoming a hero of 100 ballads, or at least a dozen if they're lively ones? Sailor's eyes shine cheerful. Anyways, to be more serious, the area around the world wound is the best place for a paladin who wishes to defend the weak and serve good. Being part of the crusade is more than enough for me. But there's something that worries me. I don't want to sound like I'm criticizing my brother's laws, but the Eagle Watch and the other orders are focused on just one aim, the war against the world wound. That's why they can sometimes overlook the smaller things, ordinary misfortunes, you know? I always like being a wandering knight because any moment I can get up and go help a poor rat folk whose family had been kidnapped, or an old woman whose favorite dog had gone missing. So here's my answer. I don't have some big important goal, but I'll be happy to help those who need it a little bit here and there. Thank you for speaking with me. Until next time. Sailors, we'll see ya. Okay, so now we just got Airbag. This is how's the city. What is your main objective? Our main objective. You heard what the demons said. They're going to desecrate the war stone and blow up the whole. Okay, that's what she said earlier. Let's ask her a few personal questions. Please, but I must warn you, there are some things I don't have the right to discuss. Where are you from? Born in Canaveras, I grew up on a farm just outside it, but my way back home lay at the end of a long and winding road. It took me years of traveling through foreign lands before I came to be where I've always belonged. How did you become a paladin? Bitter smile appears on the half-orc's face. I don't much like to remember it, but believe it or not, the story of how I became a paladin is also a story of how I failed to become a knight. My parents were crusaders, made their souls stand together in Iomede's celestial arm. When I was born, they retired from the war and started preparing me to continue their legacy. But my father was important. You'd be pressed to find a calmer, wiser, more previous servant of the goddess. But still, all his life, he was dogged by sideways looks and whispers. When I grew older and it was time for me to serve, I decided anywhere but Canaveras. That was when my father had served loyally, and his only reward had been injustice. Besides, the witch hunters, led by the Honorable Prelate Ulan stalked the city with a heavy hand. Who knows what they'd have done to a strange girl green skin. Instead, I went to smirk that looks more like a painful grimace crosses her face. You can laugh if you want, but I was young and foolish. I chose last wall of all places. You can imagine how well I was accepted in a country that's been battling the orcs of Belskin since its foundation. There were many there like me, but we were all treated as second-class citizens. To the locals, my green skin was worse than leper scabs. Even my brothers in faith kept a distance. It took my vows, and the goddess granted me the power of a paladin. But even then, not a single order would accept me into their ranks. I spent another 6 months knocking on doors before I realized the simple truth. I serve Iomade, not these people. I don't have to prostrate myself before them, so I left as a paladin, but not a knight. It's probably hard for you as a human to imagine what it's like on the very color of your skin and the fangs in your mouth when people in your street turn on their heel to avoid you. I mean, no offense, of course. Actually, I know exactly what that means. How did you come to join the knightly order? I left last fall and went traveling. The goddess guided me, and my path led me to where atrocities were happening. I often fought in exchange for gold, but never for unworthy aims, of course. I wandered the river kingdoms for a few years, killing monsters and tracking down criminals. Sometimes I thought I was just wasting time, that my true place was in Canaveras, but I pushed those thoughts away. I didn't even want to think about going back, but in the end, divine providence had brought me to my senses. It happened in Tiamat. I was tracking a gang of bandits, which my employees suspected was a cover for Rasmirian spies. I managed to find their lair, but inside I found something far more dangerous than spies, an unholy temple to Zond Kothar. When I broke in there, the cultists were about to sacrifice someone, a person who was destined to become my wife, and that's another story. As I cut down the cultists, I examined their papers and couldn't believe my eyes. A network of evil cults had spread through all Everson, including Lindell. Worse, the documents clearly showed that their allies, the temples of the Ivory Labyrinth, had infested my native Canaveras and were even among the ranks of the paladins. After that, delaying my homecoming would be tantamount of desertion. Luckily, I was no longer alone, and Eva was as eager to destroy the cultists as I was. And Eva and I hurried to Canaveras. I couldn't trust anyone. The papers indicated that the cultists had infiltrated everything. Luckily, I had some experience in investigation, and my beloved, and therefore responsible, she knew her way around working locks, telling people, and trading information with the city's bottom feeder. Soon we defeated, alas, not the whole Hydra, but a few of his heads. Do you know who turned out to be the leader of the cultists? The commander of the Eagle Watch. Can you imagine? While Perlet Hulan was chasing witches throughout the city, the enemy had infiltrated the very order responsible for internal security. The scandal reached the ears of the queen. At first she planned to disband the order in disgrace, but then she offered its command to me and put its salvation in my hands. Of course, there was one small catch. I wasn't a knight, but I was made commander just the same, skipping the usual progression through the ranks. How did the people of Canaveras feel about your background? They tolerated it surprisingly well. I shouldn't have been so worried. Crusaders don't tend to be prejudiced as a rule. After all, heroes from all over the world, even from other continents, come here to fight the demons. Apparently, the people were only suspicious of full-blooded orcs. There were already many like me here, and we don't have any problems. But the locals do have their superstitions. Mendeb is as merciless as last war. They just have a different set of victims. I kept seeing those same sideways looking scrolls, hearing the familiar whispers. But where once they used to whisper behind my back, point at me, now they whisper in my ear and point at someone else. It's so strange to be on the other side of humiliation. To wipe the spit from your face, to suddenly be invited to change position and spit at someone else. You must have figured out by now that I'm talking about demons. It's true, there are many of them among the cultists, a few among our crusaders, and our fighters do all they can to drive away those who will be our allies. People shun them, call them ill as spawns, or worse, as if they chose to be born like that. I believe it's quite a feat to rise against the call of one's blood and join the forces of good. Still, most only see them as the enemy. I once saw a knight bleeding to death because he wouldn't let a Tiefling priest touch his wound. Alas, I haven't been able to change this in all my time in Canaveras. Tell about Aniva. We met in Tiamat, and I was wandering aimlessly from one ordeal to another. We returned to Canaveras together to expose the temples of the Ivory Labyrinth. The day the Queen knighted me was the second happiest day of my life. The first was the day of our wedding. But Aniva isn't just my beloved, she's my staunchest ally. We share every victory and defeat. The best of me is alive thanks to her. Thank you for saving her back then. The day Canaveras fell before her return, the only thing giving me the strength to protect the defender's heart was hope that I'd see her again. We are in your debt. Thank you for your answers. Tell me about the Eagle Watch. was a small order created to fight not only demons but also the enemy within, to maintain the purity of the Paladin race, prevent heresy, and identify spies, and it failed miserably at that. The Temple of the Ivory Labyrinth infiltrated it and formed their nest within its ranks. After the Queen entrusted me with leading the order, and even I practically built it from scratch. We got rid of dead weight, people who weren't committed, organized ways to transmit messages and orders safely. We introduced reliable ciphers. We found tacit allies around the city. From Crusader orders to street raiders. This was my personal crusade to purge the city of the Templars who had infested it. And I thought I was winning. I could feel it. We were so close to driving the cultists out of Canaveras, but it's hard to admit, but those successes didn't count for much once the demons entered the city. On the contrary, if it weren't for you, there wouldn't be a headquarters at Defender's Heart. The cultists would have served up the city on a platter of demons. Demons voice up. Yes, that's true. It's a good thing you achieved something. Thank you. Go, may Aomade keep you safe. Okay, let's do a quick save. I do want to just run to the basement just to see if there's somebody in there that we need to talk to. Before going out that door. We'll save going out that door as okay. We save leaving this in for the next stream. Yeah, I was thinking it would probably go down here. Most Canaveras isn't the only city. When did that song do? Map, carved horn, horseshoe, 2 gold, and first aid kit. Cost of gold, crooked paw, 10 gold, 8 core. Okay. 6 gold, decorated scabbard, map, slimy skin, and tail stick. Okay. Animal hide, bottle of oil, silver powder, 11 gold coins, okay. Button one budge, okay.
Hey, Chief! Hey, Dreamboat, come over here! I want to talk to you about something. Something really important.
Young Tiefling sits cross-legged on the floor. He looks relatively calm for someone in shackles, but his tail whips back and forth in agitation. Noticing your attention, the Tiefling sits up and beckons you over.
Quit bothering the decent people in here, Woljif, or I'll knock your teeth out!
What's it to you, Delvin Dum-Dum? You were told to guard me, and I'm not stopping you. But no one told me I had to shut my trap.
Who are you?
Woljif Jefto. I deal in useful things. I can get you whatever you want. Anything. But there's just one problem.
Deeply rattles this change and give you a meaningful look. What do you want?
I'll lay it out for you. Simple job, 30 minutes tops. We go someplace, talk to someone, and in return, whatever you want, I'll get it for you. Some extra rations? No problem. Armor, weapons, scrolls, you name it. It's as good as yours. If you need my help with something, whistle and I'll be there. I'm handy enough with knives too, and even my magic know-how isn't too shabby.
What a load of guff! If you were good at magic, you wouldn't be stuck in here now, would you?
Don't you listen to him, Chief. He'd find fault with the Queen herself. I'll be useful to have in battle, and I'll sell whatever you want at a reasonable price. It's your lucky day. You won't meet another gem like me in Canabras.
Why are you in chains?
Does it really matter? Don't get hung up on the past, Chief. Don't look to the future. Live in the here and now.
He was caught thieving.
Your shadow, what was that?
Get me out of here and I'll tell you. And don't worry, it's not contagious.
I can't help you while you're chained up here. How can I free you?
That's easy. You know Irabeth? Feisty looking gal, always wears armor. You can't miss her. She's the meanest fighter in the whole city. When you see her, put in a good word for me, will ya? Tell her there's this guy Woljif locked up for no good reason in the Defender's Heart. Well, for the follies of his youth. And he really wants to get out on bail so he can keep up his good behavior and make a contribution to society. You got that? Will you do it?
Yeah, I'll talk to him.
I knew I could count on you. Knew it the moment I laid eyes on you.
Give it up there. Okay, let's go talk to Isabel.
We do it my way.
Free him, and then, like I said, the next stream we start off by leaving the end. Irabeth, not Isabel. There's Tiefling chained up in the Defender's Heart. What can you tell me about him? Wolf is a petty thief from a gang of thieflings operating in Canabras. That's what we call them in these parts. They tried to rob a vendor of magical items recently. Unfortunately, we apprehended only one of them, and the rest managed to escape. We have no one else to keep them apart from the Defender's Heart, but that's hardly a prison. Wolf knows it too. He's been begging us for days to let him go free or have someone vouch for him. He's already asked you to put in a good word for him, hasn't he? If his scorns at you thoughtfully, then shrug. If you want to recruit Wolf and put him to good use, go ahead and take him off our guard's hands. We can ill afford to let a soldier spend their days watching over a Midland thief. I hope the thiefling proves useful, should you decide to take him along. Go, man. Don't Yomade, keep him safe. Okay.
Follow if you dare.
Well, Chief, what do you got for me?
I talked to Airbeth and I've decided to make you part of my troop. We'll see how it goes.
You must be a smooth talker. Come on, Delvin. Get these bracelets of yours off me. I'm going free.
You're sure to regret this. This tiefling will fleece you for everything you've got. Mark my words.
You're a bitter little man, Delvin. Petty and mean. You can't even be happy for me, can ya? I pity you. I'll leave you alone with your sad little soul. So long. And now, Chief, straight down to business. You see, I'm one of those guys that people around here call thieflings. We just call ourselves the family. After we knocked over that shop and I got stuck here in the Defender's Heart, a little bird told me that Big Sister Charisme wanted to see me. That she had some questions to ask me. You following?
Okay.
Now, she won't be asking me questions like, Woljif, how'd you manage to get out of this one? Or, Woljif, you're so thin, didn't they feed you? No, something serious has gone down, and I just know they want to try to pin something on me. I can feel it in my tail. So, I knew right away that I couldn't go alone. You turned up just in time, Chief. You don't need to do anything when we get there. Just stand behind me and look mean, and I'll handle the rest. Somehow. Let's go, I'll show you the way.
Okay, Tiefling hideouts. Okay. Let's see who this dude is. Eldritch Scoundrel. Students of Arcane Magic. Two masterwork daggers. Okay. Oh, this was the Claudeska. +1 flaming short sword. Okay. I'll give you that and place one of your daggers. Okay. Alright. Well, it's been going on 3.5. We have a new member in our group, Woljif. We are about ready to exit the Defender's Heart and see what kind of state Cannabis is really in. With that, let's go ahead and get ready to end today's stream. And as always, I would love to have everybody ensure that you take the time to enjoy your day, enjoy your night, and enjoy life. Thank you for coming through and watching as we do a little playthrough of Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous.